to give you a small brief introduction about this retail management, where we have around 6 modules. Okay, basically the module one, as we people know, it starts with the basics about retail or retailing, who is a retailer, some consumer behavior, process related, FDI aspects, the trends, the problems, okay, and opportunities which we people can easily find, okay, from different sources. Okay, and let me tell you people that the source which we people or I bring here may not be completely available from a textbook which are specified to you. Okay, it is entirely different. When it comes to your third semester, more of the references will be helping you people in finding some new applied knowledge which has been already shared with you from the different sources. Okay, over the internet or over the any other sources. Okay, fine. So as well as along with this, we people are going to study something about the types of retail formats, where the same any retail organization can be also sharing a same type of format sometime. Okay, depends on the locality and the size of the mall or maybe a shop. We define it on the basis of the square foot and the different type of merchandise which has been adopted or included into their retail process. Okay. Okay, and see, the attendance has been already sent into your WhatsApp. Okay, the same thing will be also sent into your chat box. Okay, meanwhile you are going to receive it. Okay. See, already I have posted your attendance form into the chat box. Okay. At the meanwhile, or maybe at the end of your class, I suggest you people to fill it up, because this is first class. There are certain hurdles in understanding, no doubt, even for me and you also. Fine. So what I request you people, that you people have to go through the class. Once the class is over, a related attendance form need to be filled and send it, because that is the proof that you people have attended the meeting or the class. Okay, and the same thing will be followed by other faculty members at the time when you people receive their links for the Google Meet and any specific subjects. Fine. Okay. So here we people begin. Okay. Anyway, I thought of giving you the entire uh, you know uh, the introduction about the subject. Okay, so this is what I just now told you people. It was regarding the first module of your retail management class. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, I just open and just tell you what other aspects which are included into your retail management. Okay, fine. Now also we people are going to use certain theories to understand. Okay, into your retail management class, like wheel of retailing or maybe retail accreditation, other. And in the third module, we people are going to discuss on certain strategies that we people use in retail management, how to set up a retail organization and what type of planning that we people do in this. So even this retail market strategy, which will be including the strategy on the financial aspects, even on the basis of the location or maybe a site size. Okay, as well as the factors which will be affecting the location of retail, as well as some human resource management or information system, which plays a very vital role, because retail just not includes only just selling your merchandise or making available of those merchandise to the final customers, even including service associated with also makes a lot of sense in retail management, and we plays very vital role in that. Even manage information system, which will be connecting our vendors, our suppliers, and as well as the customers on certain platform or channels, will be also used to understand. Okay, and as I told you, people, even logistics and supply chain plays a vital role in making that retail process, suitable for that particular strategy, which will be adding a value to the entire supply chain. So this also includes certain pricing strategies which will be dealing in detail. Okay, even promotion strategies which you people find mainly, okay, in retail location. So also along with that, in the fourth unit, we people are going to study on how to manage the stores and how we people can use this, visual merchandising as a strategy of attracting, customers. I hope you people know that something like, where impulse buying happens at the retail store, how you people make the merchandise so visual, that immediately those people can, I mean, the customers can, find it easily. Okay, and as well as have some idea about how best that can suit or satisfy their needs. Okay, on the basis of the promotion strategy people adopt. Okay, according to that, we people also are going to find the layouts into the store, how people are going to design the store. Okay, in that we people find like layouts, different types of layouts, the role which is played by the visual merchandiser. Okay, and what techniques that we people are going to use it in controlling the cost and reducing the inventory losses. Okay, even as well as exterior interior customer services we people are going to also study in your module 4. Okay, in module 5, as I told you people, where it's a first line of contact between a customer and a retailer, where the exchange of face to face interaction happens. Along with that, we people have even electronic media also on which we people find that interaction happens. Fine. Okay. Now, in your module 5, we have like retail marketing and international retailing, where little hunches about your international retailing will be dealt in this model. Okay, by understanding your external environment, what we say it as a macro environment, like maybe social culture, economic, political, legal, technological, and other issues which are related to the international retailing. Even when we talk about this relationship marketing, here we are going to find how this relationship in retailing has been evolved. Okay, and what type of research that we people have to carry out in understanding the level of expectation of customers, okay, towards the relationship. Fine, as well as we people will find what new trends are happening into retail research, and what areas of retail research has to be taken, and how you people are going to audit our customers, how to manage brands in the retailing. These all are very crucial aspects which we people can use it. Okay, and also we people have in your sixth unit like retail audit and ethics in retailing, which is very much important for understanding any professional who want to start his career into retailing. Okay, and ethics usually being common in all the profession, but when it comes to this, where a customer comes with certain problem, okay, in the form of the need what he has and want, and it's the duty of a person, the retail a vendor, or maybe any executive at that particular department, he has to understand, help him, that see to it that what exactly need that those people have can be catered and satisfied, okay, by a retailer. So also we people are going to study about like as I told you, the retail audit and the problems which are associated in auditing. Okay, as well as I said, ethics in retailing, some social responsibilities, and as well as consumerism, which is very important. Okay, now when we are talking about this consumerism, which is a very last word, okay, a word which has been set into your syllabus, we cannot fool the customers nowadays, because too much of information is already furnished by different sources, and customers know how to uh, go through certain sources and probe the information regarding what type of products can be helping them in satisfying their needs. So this is something, a knowledge about a product or services or a market or a retailer, okay, or a company, usually a customer is having, okay, because of the technological advancement and how best he is connected with the external world. Okay, so this is all about a small bird view about retail management subject. Let me tell you people, dear students, like how we people have or how you people have studied into your module, sorry, first semester and second semester, they all were like a basics. So somehow whatever knowledge that you people have gained in those 2 semester will be helping you people to understand these higher semester subjects, where these subjects moreover work on strategies, okay, and the implementation part and application. Moreover, it is an application part, okay, of these concepts in your day-to-day life. Fine. So there are a few people who are attending very late to the classes. I request that you people see to it that before once I send it within 5 or 10 minutes, okay, I will be closing it, okay, or I may not be able to admit it because the class goes. Okay, so that will be a biggest hurdle or maybe an interruption which will be taking the concentration of mind from the class. Okay, fine, good. Okay, anybody who has any queries about an introduction about your subject, if you have anything, please raise the hand, or I will continue further. Okay, fine. Okay, so what we do now, we begin with your module. We begin with the module. As you know, a module starts with the basic information about your retail management. Okay, the slides which has been already prepared by me has certain little more explanation people can find, because this will be acting like a base to you people. Once you people go through these slides, they will be making you people very comfortable to read the books. Okay, so what type of book that I have referred for this will be you can find it in the last class of the retail management module 1. Fine. Okay, is it audible to you people? No. Okay, fine. Now we go one by one. What do you mean by retail management? As basics talks about, where this is a type of a process which will be helping a customer in understanding his needs and procuring the required product or services, what we said as desired merchandise, which has been pre-planned by the customer, okay, from the retail store, which is maybe a nearby, or maybe something on the basis of your electronic channel. Okay, on the platform of electronic channel they can procure it. Okay, so here the way, this is like the various process which will be helping a customer to produce the desired merchandise from the retail stores for their end users. Okay, which will be referring to the retail management, where you find certain location. In that location you find a person with certain a number of merchandise from different products from different categories he holds, and he's try to it that try to it find that whatever customer has a problem, okay, or the expectation of a customer for any type of products must be available to him. This is what we say it as a retail management, which also includes all the steps which will be required to bring the customer into the store and fulfill their buying needs. This includes like strategies of strategies on pricing, maybe a promotional strategies which make people to come and visit the store and ultimately fulfill the desired needs what those people have. Okay, that may lead to a satisfaction. And we have one more, like this retail management makes shopping a very pleasurable experience, and which will be ensuring that customers will be leaving the store with a smile and a satisfaction. Just not just making availability of a product or services for the customer in the store, even that includes that how people build a relationship and how satisfied a customer is once he shops into the a retail store, and once he's leaving the retail store, how the person is happy with the process which has been undertaken in helping him to satisfy his needs. Okay, in to make it more in a simpler words, where this retail management will be helping a customer shop without any difficulty, where, as I said, a consumerism where customer has a knowledge about it nowadays because of the technology, but it's a very challenging aspect for any a retailer, how he makes it so pleasurable for any customer who will be visiting a retail store, and without any hurdles or difficulties he will be able to choose, his a merchandise without any hesitation or any confusion. Okay, So we have something now. This we have completed a little introduction about your retail management altogether. Now what we say it as a retailing. Okay, this is something like consist of in a very simpler world. Okay, this will be consisting of selling a merchandise from a a permanent location, as we people find like a retail stores, malls, hypermarkets, supermarkets, superstores, maybe okay limited discount stores. Okay, in very smaller quantities, which will be giving directly to the customers, where this seller will be having contact with the manufacturer. Okay, and he will be procuring in a bulk, and he will be dividing it in a smaller quantities, which can be suitable for the requirement of the ultimate end customers. Okay, so these customers may be sometimes individual buyers. Okay, the household people or family people can buy, or sometimes it goes with some corporate buyers also, will be buying little in a bulk for some good discounts and offers. So retailing works on both. Okay, and we have something like retail, which will be purchase goods or merchandise, as I told you, people in a bulk from the manufacturers directly, and then they will be selling them into very smaller quantities as per the requirement of the customers. So maybe these shops are located nearby to your residential areas, some colony streets or some centers, I mean community centers, or maybe something like you find like modern shopping malls or arcades. So we find them easily around us. Okay, we find different type of formats, as I told you, people. Okay, and at the end, the set of the businesses activities that you will be adding to the products and services sold to the customers for their personal or family use. Now the entire retailing process just not having a transaction on the basis of some value, which like some money is given to the retailer for certain merchandise, which, or maybe in simpler words, like product or services what a retailer renders in return for that money to the customers. But along with that, what value has been added to that particular process or a transaction plays a very important role for any retailer as well as for any customers. So see to it that as we professionals into marketing or maybe into a retail professionals, we usually look for that any procedures that we people follow in having a transaction between us as a retailer and with the customers. We see to it that along with the product and services, some extra value or a benefit has to be transferred to the customers. Okay, that's a very challenging aspect. Otherwise there is no use of having uh, having such type of a business which do not add any value to the process. Okay, there are certain authors who have given meaning to this retailing. Almost they find like similar. Okay, but the way of looking into that particular field of retailing, these people have found like Kotler. Okay, Kotler says that retailing, which will be including all the activities which involved in selling goods or services to the final customers for personal or maybe for none uses. Now maybe the process, somebody says that it starts from the manufacturer till the end a customers, where the retailer will be working like a middleman or intermediary who will be helping a customers as well as manufacturers to reach to each other, and the transfer of goods happen. So he says that which includes all the activities. Okay, you take anything procurement of goods, and in a bulk, and breaking it into the smaller quantities and making them reach to the targeted customers what a manufacturer has intended to reach. So this intention of the manufacturer making in his or her product reach to the final customers will be helped by the retailer. So now this includes everything A to Z. Okay, now next we have according to your Chetan Bajaj, okay, a reference book what we have in your syllabus. He says like retailing is defined as a very conclusive set of activities which is predetermined and set. Okay, or maybe a steps which are used to sell a product or services to the customers, maybe for their personal use or maybe for a family use. There's a slight difference. He says the conclusive set of activities where it has been predetermined and preset. Okay, and those procedure or steps will be followed easily. Okay, by the retailer, as well as sometimes there is a involvement of customer into the process also, which will be making that a value added to both of them in a better way. So he says that it is a responsible for matching individual demands of the customers with supplies of all the manufacturers. When we go to any retail shop, retailer won't keep yes, we find certain exclusive stores, okay, where the franchising, a retailer gets on the basis of franchising concept, where one manufacturer with his own products or those products will be exclusively available there in that particular store. But usually, in general, when we see, there is a responsibility of on the shoulder of the retailer, where he finds that any sort of needs, any brands from any manufacturer should be available to his customers whenever they come and visit the store. So what he says, according to Chetan Bhaja, he says, okay, so the retailer has to try to match, demands of the individuals, of the customer, with different supplies or different products and services from different manufacturers. Okay. Now the textbook which has been referred to you from Levy, okay, retail management, he states a retailing as no, it is the set of business activities that will be adding value to the product and services. Now, what product or services has been sold to the customer along with the product and services and the process which has been included into that will be adding a value to both of them. Okay, as I said, product and services which be sold to the customers for their personal as well as the family use. So almost when we go through all these definitions, at the end they say the product has been sold to the customers for their personal use or maybe for family use. Okay, and we have certain type of customers who will be using it for their business purposes. uh, that different retail formats we people can find once we people go on discussing different formats of retailing. Okay, there's some note that I have said which you people have to um, clearly observe it. One, the often people think of retailing only as a sale of products in a stores. That doesn't mean that when we talk about retailing, we expect only the physical products. No, but retailing also involves service with the sales. For example, like doctor's examination, maybe a haircut into the saloon, or maybe a rental of a DVD, or sometimes even homemade, sorry, home delivered pizzas. Even these are also considered as a retail. Okay. So I request anybody if you have any doubts into it. Usually, we will keep it at the end of your module. But as if now, because the initial class and this module is very crucial one. Okay. Have any doubts? You people can raise your hands or can send into your chat box a message. Okay, fine. So we just move further. Okay. Fine. Now let us discuss something about who is a retailer then. Who is a retailer? He is a person who has or maybe a person where a customer will be meeting him, or is a a primary contact to the customers, no doubt. Here he is the one who will be selling goods or commodities directly to the customers. Or we can say that a retailer is a type of a person. He is an agent. Sometimes we look him as a company or an organization on behalf of it, which he's going to sell. Now, like he's a type of instrumental in reaching the goods or merchandise or service to the ultimate customer. So, as I told you, people in the initial stage of your class, where he will be acting like your middleman. We say it as a intermediaries. I hope you people have studied with your channel strategy or different type of channels in your marketing management, where one level, zero level, two level, three level. Okay, so these when we talk about levels, we call them with some different names, but ultimately the names may be a person, agent, distributor, maybe a company or organization, where all of them, irrespective of whatever name we people call them, those people will be acting like a retailer as a middleman. Okay, will make a many manufacturers goods or merchandise or service to reach the customers. Also sometimes we people refer these retailers as a middleman or intermediate, as I told you people, because they will be occupying like a middle position in the distribution channel, as I told you people. Example of your zero one, two, three level of channels that we people use. Okay. Okay. Now these people are going to receive goods from the producers, or maybe sometimes even a whole they find a wholesalers. Who the wholesalers they procure it from the manufacturers, and this is going to be passed to the customers. So these retailers are able to accomplish this through some specified location where they are going to locate their store at certain convenience places where customers can easily shop. Okay, and also by ensuring that the customer is very important focal point for the selection and display of the stock, because this also says that where any stock which has been kept into the stores in that particular location, it completely depends on that what the locality customers expecting that the type of product or services should be available to them. On that basis only the merchandise will be selected by a retailer, what has to be kept into it and what has to be displayed, okay, as a stock. Okay, so we have one more concept like the emergence of organizations of retailing. Why this has been come into a picture with a very huge demand in entire world, where especially when we see like in different areas and countries where there is a shift of consumer buying patterns. Okay, has far-reaching the implications, just not only for manufacturers or marketers or retailers, but also consumers and the society at large. Remember this shift into a mindset of the consumers, the buying process what they used to have in the previous, that has been changed now. So they come with some different buying patterns, okay, due to the technology, maybe due to the consumerism. Those people have changed themselves. Even that has made even the manufacturers also to change, where they have to identify, understand the consumer buying patterns. According to that, they have to adopt their process or value chain, where they will be reaching with their products to the customers. So not only for, as I said, not only for manufacturer, marketers or retailers, it is also for consumers and even at the society at the large. Certain time even societal forces, as I said, a macro force which will be helping, or sometimes it will be hindering the process of retailing, that how they are going to adapt it. Okay, everywhere self services cannot be used. Maybe something it is apport to the culture for certain areas in certain countries. Okay, the formats has to be changed. So we have second, like India is one of the very leading emerging market. If you please go through certain information over the net, like Deloitte, we have like a Deloitte reports. Okay, maybe IBF, Indian Brand Equity Foundation reports, maybe Indian Statistical Organization reports. You find that if I tell that emerging market, the statistics is given that huge amount of FDI is coming into India. That we are going to discuss with your FDI chapter, no doubt. But just for a hunches to just support you on this particular point, this leading emerging market, okay, that India is, no doubt. And there's a huge population over a billion, and it is one of the largest economies in the world. Okay, in terms of purchasing power, if you see around maybe my own experience around 2 decades ago, if I see the brands which I saw around when I was in 15th age, and now at this age, probably the huge import of brands has happened, where too much of clutter you people can find. Okay, when it comes to the brands, so many type of brands, international brands, some local brands also gained the importance in India. Where because of this, the purchasing power of the customers in India has made different brands to enter the Indian market and launch into it. So almost all type of brands from the world is expected to find into your Indian market. Okay, third we have like the emerging technology interface in retailing. You cannot say like because of smartphone era what we people have now, the everything, even shopping has become very smarter. People have become very smarter in choosing a brand, analyzing them, comparing them with the competitors, and then come to a conclusion from whom we have to buy what. So this technological advancement has made customers to be very keen observant about the market, where even just to give you an example, like sometimes a customer use this technology to find the reviews about the product, and then he's going to decide, though it may be satisfying his need, but on the basis of review they take a decision. Okay. Then we have fourth one, like store brands gave a boundary to create a favorable impact on customers. These store brands, this has some link with your purchasing power. Okay, of your second point, where uh, due to knowledge about the products, brands, or maybe a stores or a retailer, okay, among the customers, makes them very much uh, like that makes them to take a decision that from which we have to buy what type of brands. Now when I'm talking about the store brands, these are something an era which has started. We can call it them as private label brands, where these brands are manufactured by a third party sometime for certain specific retailer, or maybe a retailer will be having his own brand with his own with his on the basis of his own store name. So these are also gaining lot of importance, which are giving huge competition to the national brands. Okay, what we people see in your super malls. Okay, we have the fifth one, like growth of middle class consumers, where buying power has grown. Okay, the middle class people are growing on the basis of their income, as well as with that the lifestyle of those people is also changing. According to the lifestyle, no doubt their bargaining power, or what we say it as a demand after need and want, the desire or demand, the bargaining power has also grown. So they are also expecting to have something unusual type of products from the usual what those people are choosing chosen in the past. Okay, next we have the sixth one, like increase in the number of working women, where everybody in the family now they are literate, no doubt, and those people are employed also. So due to the increase in income because of the working women into the family, also make them to change their buying habits, and also change their brands due to the income. So as well as we have value for the money, if you go to some bigger shopping malls or supermarkets, okay, you find that too much of discounts you people find for less money, or you get more value from the retailer. Okay, and we have emerging rural markets, where even FMCG is also concentrating on rural markets. You can find HUL or PNG products, okay, Rankin and Bakaza products into rural market, where people are expected, okay, they want to buy such a national brands. So there is also competition to reach into rural market, and this is happening because of the infrastructure development what has been done into India or to any country. Say if infrastructure and logistics and supply chain are very strong to reach different areas, I think rural market will not be so difficult for any FMCG or any type of companies to reach. Okay, so we have something entry of a corporate sectors, no doubt, diversification into business what corporate bigger corporates or multinational companies they do. Okay, the shifting, for example, like Reliance is into chemicals, into textiles, and they also now into retailers, very huge, maybe like very fast growing top one retailer in India. So we have something like inter corporates, maybe foreign retailers, okay, where directly maybe directly not be so difficult. It may be difficult for any foreign retailers to enter, but due to collaboration or investment into some Indian companies, making them to come into India, and that has changed the scenario of retailing. Okay, so we have rise in the income, as I told you, people, where value may be added because of women's working or middle class growth. That also comes, and media explosion is the one biggest one, where you people keep the media into your pocket. So as and when any problem that you people face, want to solve it. So what you people do? You people use your smartphones or any gadgets, which will be helping you people to reach to the media and explore the news or information which is related to your related to your interest. And we have the 13th one, like as I told you, rise of consumerism, where because that you people have entire end circular play into your pocket, maybe because of that, any sort of information may not be, probably little can be, but maximum it will not, it won't misses from your eyesight. So as and when you people require it, any sort of information can be probed, okay, and can be understood. So because of this, rise in the consumerism, okay, or knowledge about, knowledgeable customers regarding your product and services makes it sometimes very easy for you to sell, because basically those people know about your products or the type of products, or a product, your product, which falls into different categories. If they have a knowledge about that, okay, that will be helping you people to convince them. Sometimes it comes into a adverse effect where more knowledgeable customers are, very problem heads, more objections will come at the time of selling. Handling those objections of the customers becomes difficult sometime. Okay, fine. So we have something like characteristics of retailing. Okay, very basic one, where you find that it will be offering a direct interaction with the customers as well as your end consumers. So maybe somebody who is buying for himself or buying for somebody else, like customer and consumers, where it makes to interact a retailer with the customers. Okay, and this, because of the interaction, there's a possibility that what transaction happens between those two people on the basis of face to face communication, which will be helping customers to tell about his problem, and can best alternatives will be given by a retailer to him, and retailer will be helping him to choose the best alternative, or he will be supporting him in taking a decision about which alternative or which product or service can be suitable as per his needs, want, and as well as a buying power, or what we say it as a desire. So we have second one, something like a sales volume is compared to large in quantities, but less in monetary value as compared to the export and manufacturing. No doubt, because as I told you, this becomes like a concept on the basis of break bulk. Okay, where these people, retailers buy it in a bulk. Okay, and they break it in a very smaller quantity and sell, because when we see the sales volume purchased by each customer may be very less, okay, compared to exporting or manufacturing, because when it comes to exporting or manufacturing, the cost comes down. Okay, more you people are going to produce, the cost of manufacturing comes down. Okay, but when it comes to the retailing, where the sales will be very less in a lesser quantity. Okay, a very lesser quantity, and but the monetary value is very less, though the sales happens more, no doubt. Sorry, the volume is high, no doubt, but still monetary value is come very less compared to the exporting and manufacturing, due to maybe the price discounts what they give, or maybe the cost of handling the entire store, the cost associated with the sales people who are working into the stores. So there are many things which we people are going to discuss when it comes to your store or location or human resource strategies. Okay, the third one we have, like customer service plays a very vital role in success of retail business, as I told in your initial slides, where just not we are going to sell a product or services to products to the customers. Along with that, even the service is also important. Okay, even if you people make your customers to wait at a billing counter for a longer time, I think that is a failure of your services. You make a customer reach your merchandise very fast, but at the billing counter, if you're making them to wait, it's very difficult. What we said as a waiting lane strategy, where this waiting lane strategy sometimes is going to fail, because if you are not properly equipped with your people as with the machines at the time of billing. So we have the fourth one, like a sales promotion usually offered at this point only. So this is a place, retailing is, or retail store is a place where this sales promotion plays a very crucial or important role, because which makes a customer to decide upon certain products or services to buy at that particular time. The what promotion strategies you people find, because retailing itself is something like you make it more pleasurable and experience at the time of shopping into the store. So along with that, if certain promotion also given at that particular point, I think the acceptance power of a customers will be very high at that moment, because the entire character what they are into now into shopping of the product. So this is something will be supporting you. So we have next fifth one, like in almost all countries, retail outlets are more than any other form of business, no doubt. because due to availability of different formats, different locations, and where the people are scattered, okay, in that particular area. Because of that, scattering, or maybe different segments you people can find, okay, different segments of different type of customers with a different behavior, different requirement. So maybe because of that makes any retailer to forcefully come with a different type of retail formats in that particular area. So as sixth one, we have like location and layout are very crucial factors in retail business. I know this is a strategy which we are going to discuss in your maybe module two, where the selection of a location plays a very important role to see to it that you people get a good business out of that particular area which you are going to cover, and the layout into which the layout of your store, how convenient it is for customers to shop inside. Okay, how the layout is helping the customers to make their shopping a very pleasurable one, okay, without any hurdles. Okay, maybe that also is very important. So these two, especially location of the store and the layout or a structure of the your store, plays very important factor into the retail business. So we have sixth one. It offers employment opportunity to all age groups, irrespective of age or gender or qualification. Because yes, okay. Now this retailing business has given, if I'm not wrong, maybe in this year from Deloitte report, it says something like 8% of the employment is in India is generated by retail sector. So something very huge sector for any unemployed people to get employment into it. So something is adding too much of importance in the form of economic development of a country. Okay, what we do now, I hope it is enough for today. Till characteristics of retailing, uh, we are going to. We will do one thing, regarding your types of retailers. We will deal in the next class. Okay. Till then, I hope you people can go through the books. Okay, Retail Management Levy. Fine. That's the best book from which I am going to refer. Along with that, some extra also we people can get it from the internet, from the authenticated sources. We people have to take it. Okay, with a cross reference, then only we people are going to add it. So, any doubts that you people have? Any doubts you people have?